Namaskar, good evening. You're watching this special broadcast Mandate 2024 and I am Swati Joshi. You've seen the poll projections. You now know the exit poll numbers. You also have heard the political commentary. It's now time for us to decode what the issues are on which the people of this country have cast their vote. In just about 36 hours from now, the first results will start coming for 2024 Lok Sabha polls. And by now, you've seen multiple reactions coming in from political parties, multiple exit polls as well. And all of those exit polls giving a very comfortable win to the Bharatiya Janata Party. Yes, the opposition has first rejected, boycotted the exit poll debates. And then they also went on to say, some of them, that the exit polls are fake, that the Modi media has put out these numbers. It's a psychological game to just build pressure on the opposition. And despite all of this, let's decode the issues on which the votes have been cast. Let's try and understand what was it that was prominent and a priority for the voters. And not many would disagree that if there is one thing that has defined these elections, it is the political crusade over minority votes. And perhaps the most fractious campaign yet, the narrative has been rife with communal overtones, with Mandir and Muslim finding repeated mentions in political speeches. But does the voter care for this? Or is it bread and butter issues and law and order that are the deciders? Let's take a look at the issues and how people have voted on the big screen. And let's in fact begin with West Bengal. Let's decode the issues in West Bengal on which the people have exercised their right to vote. And then we'll also play out the exit poll projections to try and understand who's getting these votes. Hindutva tops the chart. 14% people in West Bengal voted on the issue of Hindutva. On number 2 was corruption. 13% people voted on the issue of corruption. Corruption was on their minds when they were exercising their right to vote. Number 3 was women's safety. 12% people voted on the issue of women's safety. 11% voted on the issue of CAA. Now, you remember the multiple face-offs between the BJP and the TMC when the elections were underway. So that also was one of the issues. If you talk about the priority list, number 4 was CAA when the people in West Bengal exercised their right to vote. 11% of them. And 9% voted on the issue of law and order plus unemployment. So remember, the Bharatiya Janata Party raked the issue of law and order time and again. Then you had the entire Sandesh Khali episode in West Bengal. So law and order clubbed with unemployment. 9% voters kept this in mind while they were exercising their right to vote and choosing their candidate and their party. Let's now take a look at the exit poll projection for West Bengal and what the numbers say as far as exit poll is concerned. BJP 20 to 22 seats as per the exit poll, TMC 19 to 21, Congress 1 to 2 and others 0. Now keep in mind the issues and these numbers. BJP 20 to 22. Hindutva tops the chart when it comes to votes on West Bengal. Now, we have our guests here in the studio. Let's open this up and quickly, let's take their reaction. Tausif Ahmed Khan is with us. We also have Tehseen Poonawalla along with Vishwas Pathak of the BJP on the broadcast. Tausif Ahmed Khan, let me begin with you. Are you surprised that Hindutva is in the priority list and on the top of it when it comes to West Bengal? We also have Asif Bamla, by the way. Good evening. Go ahead.
So, Swati, if Hindutva tops the chart, it's a bad news for BJP because Bengal Hindutva means Vivekananda. In Bengal, Hindutva means Brahmo Samaj, which is in sharp contrast to what we see in the northern India. You see, Bengali food includes fish. The Bengali Kali Puja includes mutton. So for the Prime Minister to come and in his speech he said, do not eat fish, do not eat mutton and all. So this has actually been a blunder for the Prime Minister to say this, and it has not gone down well in the Bengali society.
But
because
but look at the exit poll numbers.
The exit poll number is very interesting.
22 seats for the BJP. And if you look at the issues and Hindutva is topping the chart, does it really go against the BJP?
Yes, it does, because even in the previous election, exit poll, if I'm talking specifically about 2021, exit poll said that Trinamool will bring in the assembly election about 120, 140 seats. But Trinamool got 212 seats in that election. So exit polls' credibility is at question here, especially, at least I'm talking about Bengal. Because, Bengal is not the way people see the other North Indian states. Like I was saying, fish is a staple food a Bengali person, cannot imagine not having fish before going to sleep.
Okay.
And it is on this point itself, the Prime Minister, gave a speech and asked the Bengalis not to have it, which has really not gone down.
You're saying it has gone against the BJP. We have Mr. Pathak on the broadcast. Mr. Pathak, the exit poll numbers are giving you 20 to 22 seats as far as West Bengal is concerned. And the issues, when we decode them, Hindutva is on the top of the list. But Mr. Tausif Ahmed Khan says this is going against the Bharatiya Janata Party.
See, all the exit poll before elections, as well as now after elections are over, 7th round is over, they are all showing that BJP is going to win with thumping majority in India. So I don't think West Bengal will be exception to these exit polls. Why? The Bengali people are experiencing the government of Mamata Didi, the way she is managing, the way there is no law and order, and the way misgovernance is there. There is also an issue of migrants. Huge amount of migrants are coming into India, and the privileges of the people who are staying there, local people, they are getting jeopardized. Therefore, they are in the search, they were waiting for the elections to come.
Okay.
And in this election, they voted massively in favor of Mr. Modi ji. And we are very confident that whatever projections have been shown by this exit polls, it will be rightly in that direction.
Okay, let's take a look at the other issues also very quickly on the screen. On number 1 was Hindutva, and on number 2 was corruption. Then there's the issue of women's safety as well. This is Uttar Pradesh. Let's go back to the numbers of West Bengal. Yes, this is West Bengal. 13% voted on the issue of corruption. Tehseen Poonawalla, and we know who raised this issue against the sitting government in West Bengal. Do you think this is both the top issues on the list are going in favor of the Bharatiya Janata Party? Tehseen Poonawalla?
Swati, thank you so much for having me on the show. Let me first begin by expressing my absolute support to the BJP spokesperson. You'll be surprised, Mr. Pathak. Mr. Pathak says, floods of migrants are coming into India. I quote him verbatim. He said, lots of migrants are coming into India. So who's bordering the borders? Not Mamata Banerjee, ma'am. It's BSF, it's under Amit Shah ji and under the Honorable Prime Minister. So by that explanation, the Honorable Prime Minister should offer his resignation right away to the President of India and come on time and apologize why migrants coming into India right now. You see, the BJP has nothing to speak to. I agree with what Tausif broadly says. While I agree with the exit poll broadly, what it's showing, it shows a number. With West Bengal, you have to accept a pattern. The pattern is that the TMC is always underestimated in these exit polls. So I'm not saying that the BJP is not doing well. I've always maintained BJP will do very well in West Bengal. It will gain. That's fine. But the TMC is always underestimated. But there is nothing substantive that the BJP can bring. Even on your show, they say, oh, migrants are coming. So what is Mamata Banerjee supposed to do?
Okay, but that definitely was not one of the issues. The parties may have spoken about it during the election campaign.
Now what is the BJP? The BJP has nothing to talk on corruption. Who is today leading the BJP? Mr. Adhikari? Where did he come from? He came from the TMC. Before that, you had Mukul Roy ji. Mukul Roy ji comes from the TMC to
but
the BJP.
BJP
calls him corrupt.
Yes,
but BJP called him corrupt. Then he goes back. So BJP has nothing. Now, what did the BJP ex-president Dilip Ghosh say about Ma Durga? What language did he use about Ma Durga? So the BJP fundamentally is a party that is anti-Bengal.
Okay.
However, they are doing well because they are taking the opposition space. I concede to that. But the BJP is anti-Bengal fundamentally.
I'm just going by the numbers that we have and number of people who voted, percentage of people who voted on these issues. On the issue of corruption, BJP, slammed the TMC, saying the cut money culture, the loot culture is being practiced in West Bengal against the people of West Bengal. Centre's money is not given to them. Then you had the TMC saying that, Centre does not give us enough money. But if you look at the exit poll projections and the issues on which people voted, it looks like that has resonated with people. Then the issue of Sandesh Khali, law and order as well. Let's quickly now move to another state. Let's talk about Uttar Pradesh and the issues that people have voted on in the state of Uttar Pradesh. Now, in Uttar Pradesh, law and order, 18% people kept this in mind, law and order in the state when they exercise their right to vote. On number 2 is women's safety. 16% people voted on the issue of women's safety. Then you have a very important issue that the opposition constantly raked up during their campaigning, unemployment. 12% people voted keeping unemployment in mind. Ram Mandir is a factor. 9% people kept Ram Mandir in mind and voted. And then you have constitution in danger, something that the opposition spoke about continuously, that the constitution is in danger. That is an attack on constitution by the BJP. It resonated with 2% people. So in Uttar Pradesh, on top was law and order. Let's now take a look at the exit poll projections. How many seats for the Bharatiya Janata Party, the Samajwadi Party, the BSP and others? So BJP is getting 66 to 70 seats as per the projections. Samajwadi Party is getting 10 to 13 seats. BSP 0, others 0 to 1 seat. So let me go back to our guest. Tehseen Poonawalla, I want to come to you first. So if law and order is on the top of the list, if it was a priority that people voted on, and you look at the numbers here, don't you think this definitely resonates with what the Bharatiya Janata Party spoke about, or the UP model, the Yogi model that is constantly talked about?
Again, I don't think the UP law and order is so good. It's a great media perception, and I give it to the BJP for creating that perception. But just the NCRB report shows highest number of murders, highest number of atrocities against women, SC, ST happens in Uttar Pradesh, highest number. But let me take you to another aspect, and I think this is more important to discuss with regards to Uttar Pradesh. What has been spectacular, I don't dispute the numbers BJP is getting, I do believe they are getting these numbers or close to this. What has been spectacular is the collapse of the BSP. So the entire BSP vote has now shifted en masse to the BJP. So I think BSP will reduce to now a 9 or 10% party from its traditional 20%, and that 10% has gone to the BJP. So what happened is, earlier SP with a 35, 38, 39% or 40%, you could form the government easily. Today BJP maintains to be a 50% plus party, and that has continued because BSP spectacular collapse. So the collapse of the BSP, and in Telangana the collapse of the BRS, and that vote shifting to the BJP has led to this rise of the BJP. That is as simple as that. Believe you me, the law and order. Let's just ask one question to your viewers. How many of this, because Asif is from Mumbai and a lot of Asif's friends and my friends are Bollywood stars, Asif's friends who I get to meet with Asif, how many of these Bollywood stars who hang around with Yogi Adityanath will leave Mumbai and shift to Uttar Pradesh? As many as the Prime Minister's press conference.
I think Mr. Pathak should respond to that. Let me quickly once again go back
to Asif smiling when I said all the Bollywood stars.
The issues on which people voted. On number 1 is law and order, number 2 is women's safety. And Asif Bhamla, Tehseen Poonawalla says law and order is not top class in Uttar Pradesh. It was just a projection, a narrative created by the Uttar Pradesh government and BJP supporters, but that seems to have resonated with the voters. Also, another important factor, Ram Mandir, which one would have thought should have been at the top of the list, is at the second last position, and 9% people kept that in mind while exercising their right to vote.
Can I
Yes. The question is to you.
With due respect to Tehseen, I totally understand what Tehseen means to say. The law and order in UP is, I think that's in its best. In the past so many years, the situation, all these goons and all these people who were involved in the scut money and all the wrongdoings, a man like a Yogi Adityanath has handled things with an iron fist. You think this is why people are choosing and electing the Bharatiya Janata Party again and again?
Asif bhai, will you leave Mumbai and shift to UP?
Ask the Congress spokesperson here, ever after, give me, from 2011, I want to ask which state has Congress repeated? I'm saying about Bharatiya Janata Party, about my party, from UP to Assam to Uttarakhand to Gujarat to Tripura to Haryana. We have created an example of a pro-incumbency. Why aren't you seeing that? And why are people electing us back and back again? The Mahilas, the Yuwas. You see, this trend has been openly created in these entire exit polls. In the entire electoral campaigns, the Bharatiya Janata Party was just like written off.
Okay.
Hum 200 par nahi, 300 par nahi. And today, you see the results. So the progress that has been done, if you're talking particularly about UP, it has been immense. It's commendable. And the development, the infrastructure, if you ask me, the women's safety, aaj mujhe bataiye, mahilaon ki safety is so important. And Bengal, when you said...
लेकिन आसिफ बामला जो आप कह रहे हैं उस हिसाब से तो सारी 80 की 80 सीटें मिल जानी चाहिए थी। नहीं, जो आप कह रहे हैं उसके हिसाब से तो सारी 80 की 80 सीटें मिलनी चाहिए थी, as was the claim of the भारतीय जनता पार्टी. I want to bring in Mr. Pathak very quickly. Mr. Pathak, देखिए यहाँ पर हिंदुत्व नहीं है कहीं पर भी चार्ट में. people have voted on law and order, on women's safety, and number 3 is unemployment. So, जिससे लोगों को सबसे ज़्यादा फर्क पड़ता है, those issues are on their priority list. Do you think that is the reason why you see a reduction in numbers?
No, not at all. Number one, while I respect your discussion on state level, the people of Uttar Pradesh have voted for what Mr. Narendra Modi's government
No, we'll
has
come
done
to
for
India
last 10
later. We'll
years.
take a look at what factors have
They have
impacted.
ensured-
India पर भी बात करेंगे, but let's talk about UP right now.
No, I don't think state-wise the people of Uttar Pradesh has gone by state-wise performances. As far as Yogi ji is concerned, there can be a separate debate. I can tell you, Yogi ji has transformed this Uttar Pradesh into different state altogether. That is why he was repeated as the CM of Uttar Pradesh again. And it is a very unprecedented thing. Law and order situation is very, very good. If at all you want to compare that law and order situation, you can compare with what Akhilesh Yadav's government used to provide.
Okay.
So therefore, if you want to compare, then you can compare state-wise.
But what are your views on Ram Mandir?
As far as this exit
what
poll
are
is
your views on
concerned,
Ram
Mr.
Mandir?
Modi ji is coming into
Definitely
power
on the list. It is definitely on the list, but on the second last position.
Ram Mandir was promised by central government, Mr. Modi ji. We have performed it, we have delivered it through the process of law, and people have witnessed that. But for us, Ram Mandir was not issued to fetch votes.
All right.
To fetch votes, issue was to give development to the public of Uttar Pradesh. Public of India.
Okay, you're saying Ram Mandir was not an election issue for you. All right, you're saying Ram Mandir was not an election issue for you, but you know, campaign after campaign, rally after rally, we heard both the BJP, the Congress, the opposition rake up this issue. Let's shift our focus to Maharashtra now. Let's take a look at the issues on which the people of Maharashtra have exercised their right to vote. And the issues are here on your big screen. Constitution in danger, very interesting. Constitution in danger was on the minds of people, and 14% people voted on this particular issue. On number 2 is Hindutva. 11% people voted on the issue of Hindutva, 10% on the burning issue of Maratha reservation. Then you have 9% people voting on Uddhav Thackeray sympathy. Sympathy votes going to Uddhav Thackeray. If you talk about that, post the split, 9% people had it on their mind. And Ram Mandir is here at the bottom of the list. 5% people also kept Ram Mandir in their mind when they were exercising their right to vote. Very quick analysis of this. Mr. Asif Bhamla, constitution in danger. Is this because of the massive changes that we saw in politics of Maharashtra, the toppling of the governments, people switching sides, splitting of parties, that people of Maharashtra thought that constitution is in danger, is a very important issue. It should be kept in mind while exercising their right to vote. And if they did, then it's important to know what, which party is going to benefit from it. We'll take a look at the exit poll projections, but let's first take a response. Asif Bhamla.
What sort of a constitution is in danger? The Prime Minister, Honorable Modi ji, has time and again mentioned that the constitution was in danger when the Congress rectified it a couple of times. During the BJP government, when consecutive two times when we were elected, there was nothing on the card. And what constitution, what sympathy are we talking about? It is their own internal rumblings within the Shiv Sena.
So that's a different issue. The rumbling is a different issue.
NCP,
but sympathy vote. No, one second, Asif Bhamla. You cannot mix up sympathy vote and rumblings. No, I don't agree with that. You cannot mix up rumblings with sympathy votes. Now, since you're pointing that out, I want to see the exit poll projections on the big screen. I want our viewers to focus on the exit poll projections. Exit poll projections show 26 seats for BJP, 22 for Congress, and others 0. So, Tehseen Poonawalla, is Uddhav Thackeray's sympathy vote actually a big factor here?
No. There is no sympathy for either Uddhav Thackeray or Sharad Pawar. It is the Congress factor. Let's be clear.
Okay.
Maharashtra is a Congress state or now a BJP state. There are two parties. Uddhav Thackeray ji, I know he's an ally. I have a lot of respect. But he couldn't save his own government as chief minister. He didn't know his commissioner was taking the police in. Please, I think this is what media creates. Mr. Pawar's daughter is going to lose the elections. Look, the Congress has to realize, I don't care about the allies. I care about Congress. I vote Congress. So I'm going to be very bitter, very straightforward on your. The Congress has to realize that the reason the Congress force is decline in Maharashtra, despite it still being the most powerful party in Maharashtra, it's even more powerful than BJP even today, is because Sharad Pawar's NCP, along with Ajit Pawar, has pepped on the Congress. So the Congress, if it really wants to revive, must let go of these regional parties and must fight. That's number one. Number two, this business of constitution in danger, you see, had Mr. Owaisi and Prakash Ambedkarji, the VBA, not cut the Congress votes,
Right.
there would have been bigger seats. So again, these are the things that the Congress will have to see.
So you're saying a West Bengal-like arrangement perhaps would have benefited?
No. Even in TMC, with respect to Tausif and with the left, the Congress has to realize that today how the BJP is the national party in the country. If these numbers are true, and I take the trend broadly.
Okay.
See, Swati, you've covered journalism for a long time. 15 years ago, did you think BJP would govern Haryana? Did you think 15 years ago it would govern Assam? 15 years ago, I'm talking. Did you think 10 years ago BJP would be in this position in West Bengal? 10 years ago. You didn't. Look at what today it's expected to get 10-12% in Tamil Nadu. The Congress has a base in these states. These regional parties, who are their main enemies? Their main enemy is Congress, not BJP. They may say on TV it's BJP. So now if the Congress wants to revive, and we want to end to BJP, the Congress has to strengthen itself. You can't depend on these regional parties. Sharad Pawar is the reason why Congress is weak in Western Maharashtra.
That perhaps will take another 5-10 years to make a bold statement. Perhaps 5-10 years.
If they listen to what I'm telling them, they will prosper. Okay. Sharad Pawar is the reason why Asif comes from Mumbai. He's the reason why Congress has declined in Western Maharashtra.
Okay, because Congress is not working on itself, not strengthening the party. You're saying they should have done that alone. All right, I'm taking a very short break. Gentlemen, stay on with us. After the break, we'll talk about issues that mattered the most for people in Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. Stay on with us. Welcome back on this special broadcast. Along with the exit poll projection, we're also decoding the voting pattern, the issues on which people exercise their right to vote. Let's talk about Tamil Nadu, Karnataka and Bihar now. Let's begin with Tamil Nadu. What are the top issues that mattered the most to the people of Tamil Nadu? Let's take a look at that on the big screen. Number one is corruption. 19% people voted on the issue of corruption. 12% people voted on the issue of development. And it's very interesting, of all the states, Ram Mandir mattered the most as far as Tamil Nadu is concerned. It is on number 3 and 11% people kept this issue in their mind. Ram Mandir, they voted on the issue of Ram Mandir. 9% voted on welfare schemes, and Sanatan slander also, issue that led to a massive face-off between the BJP and the ruling party in Tamil Nadu after those statements, controversial statements made. People have taken note of that, of Sanatan slander, and 8% people kept this in mind while they were exercising their right to vote. So on number 1 is corruption, then development, and number 3 is Ram Mandir. Let's now take a look at the exit poll projection when it comes to the state of Tamil Nadu. In Tamil Nadu, DMK is getting the maximum number of seats, 34 to 35. BJP, 2 to 3. One may say that they are expanding their footprint. AIDMK, 2 seats, others 0. Let's now analyze the issues on which people voted and what the exit poll projections say and whether or not there's a correlation. Let's open this up. Let's go across to our guests. Now, Tausif, I want to come to you. It's interesting, isn't it, that Ram Mandir is on number 3 when it comes to Tamil Nadu. And if you look at the projection, claims that were made by Annamalai, he said, this is going to be the era of post-Dravidian politics. At least that's not what the numbers suggest. Corruption was on the top of the list. And we know how the Bharatiya Janata Party questioned the Parivar there. They said this is corruption, this is Parivarvad.
No, you see, 11% for Ram Mandir does not surprise me because people in South India are religious and they are religious as well as educated, and that is why we see corruption at 19% and development at 12% above Ram Mandir issue. Therefore, if we go into seats, the projection of seats, it does not give much seats to BJP. Just in a way, they are going to open the account there. That also I have doubt because traditionally Stalin has been in the past in the past decade. Stalin has been very consistent and very confident, and even during the during the campaigning we saw BJP was not getting much of a traction, and in spite of all the media coverage and all the statements given by the BJP in charge there, the polls, the exit polls still gives Stalin a decent seats. So not much changing there, more like a status quo, only BJP going to open account. That's all.
Mr. Pathak, your response, because people did take note of the issue of corruption being raised, of Sanatan slander as well. But that does not reflect when you take a look at the numbers that the Bharatiya Janata Party is getting in Tamil Nadu.
The fact of the matter is that Bharatiya Janata Party could not do well thus far in Karnataka, in Tamil Nadu or Kerala. But in 2024 Lok Sabha elections, we are opening our tally in Tamil Nadu as well as in Kerala. So that was never our stronghold. So we are making inroads in those states. The way we did in Bengal, the way we did in Andhra Pradesh, Telangana. So you cannot compare Tamil Nadu and Kerala with Uttar Pradesh and northern states. So we are making inroads. Again, I'm telling you, Mr. Modi ji has taken almost 240 rallies all across India.
Yes.
Amit Bhai Shah has taken more than 180 rallies all across India.
Was the focus not on Tamil Nadu especially? That those number of seats required for 400 par were coming from down south?
Let me complete. I think the discussion which you are taking is on wrong premise. We are talking about exit polls, we are talking about Mr. Modi's performance, and in contrast, we are discussing local issues. This election was fought and the votes were sought for by Modi ji and Amit Shah all across India on certain aspects. What we have done in the last 10 years, what we have delivered for the poor people.
Yes, but when
the
campaigning happened, even the Bharatiya Janata Party spoke about the local issues, isn't it, Tehseen Poonawalla? And whether it's assembly election or whether it's the Lok Sabha election, it's very difficult to read the mind of the voter. Sometimes they do vote during Lok Sabha elections also based on the local issues.
BJP can read the minds of the people.
Let Tehseen Poonawalla respond to you.
I'm divided on this, Swati. Number one, I can say for a fact BJP is not getting any seats in Tamil Nadu. BJP itself, in fact, the state president is losing. I can confirm that that's not happening. I'll sit on 4th June and I'm happy to be proved wrong. But there is something very interesting happening in South India. If the BJP vote percentage is going up as much as Times Now is showing, and I have no reason to disbelieve all the other things, then you have to give credit to the BJP and one man Narendra Modi ji. Again, like I said, 15 years ago, you wouldn't think BJP would be number 2 in West Bengal, on today number 1 in Lok Sabha. If they are making this kind of gains in Tamil Nadu, they may not get seats, but a 15-16% vote percentage for the BJP in Tamil Nadu, think what will happen in the next 5 years. Just like 10 years ago or 15 years ago, you didn't think BJP would be governing Assam and Haryana twice over. Why in the next 15 years would they not be in Tamil Nadu and Kerala? So the BJP, so what's happening in the national figures, BJP is getting new grounds, whereas the regional parties and the Congress are not holding on to their strong points. So you're seeing a Mamta collapsing, a much slower collapse. You're seeing an Akhilesh collapsing. You're seeing these other people collapsing. So there's a collapse happening here and the BJP is getting new ground. So that is something that is a tectonic shift in Indian politics. The BSP and the BRS are two political parties that have collapsed, have collapsed completely.
I want to bring in Asif Bhamla as well. And let's focus on the issues that Mr. Pathak is calling are local issues. On the issue of corruption, it became a national issue after BJP said, the entire INDI bloc is corrupt. These parties only believe in corruption, loot, khasot and parivarvad. Development is a national issue. Ram Mandir is a national issue. Mr. Bhamla?
You see, we will of course meet on the results, but you will see the results of the south, that is Karnataka, Tamil Nadu and Kerala. You will be shocked. I mean, the inroads that the Bharatiya Janata Party has made, the kind of effort the Honorable Prime Minister has taken, and of course, see, elections is just not all about winning. It's making and creating inroads, which Vishwas Pathak also said, and Tehseen mentions a tectonic shift. So what I'm trying to say is it is going to happen in this election, and of course the rebranding. What the Prime Minister emphasizes, he touched on the local issues and also expressed the reality that Congress has branded and rebranded its own products a couple of times, and people have not bought it. And the Sanatan issue has definitely gone down very badly in the south and across the country. And you will see for sure that Tehseen, I'm telling you, you have even doubted Annamalai's victory, but you will see that he is going to win, and we will have a sizable
all
victory.
Right, but one thing that Annamalai said, this is going to be a post-Dravidian era politics that will usher in after 4th of June. Going by the exit poll projection, it does not seem so, but I'll tell you something, and Mr. Pathak is going to agree with me, that they were just preparing the ground for the next assembly election in the state, preparing for that. Mr. Pathak and gentlemen, stay on with us. After Tamil Nadu, let's now shift our focus to Karnataka. The issues that mattered the most to the people of Karnataka that they kept in mind while exercising their right to vote. And on number one is welfare schemes. 18% people focused on welfare schemes when exercising their right to vote. Interestingly, on number two in Karnataka is Hindutva. 12% people voted on the issue of Hindutva. Polarization is number three. 12% people kept in mind polarization. 9% people kept in mind the issue of Ram Mandir and cast their vote. And as far as development is concerned, in the list of priorities or the issues on which people voted, development is at the last position. But on top are welfare schemes, Hindutva, polarization and Ram Mandir. Let's now take a look at the exit poll projection. What does the exit poll say as far as Karnataka is concerned? 20 to 24 seats for the Bharatiya Janata Party, 4 to 6 seats for Congress, and others 0. Let's go across to Mr. Pathak and then Tausif. Mr. Pathak, it's very interesting that, the issue of Ram Mandir, I'm going back to Ram Mandir because one said, people analyzed it this way, the political pundit said, this is definitely going to impact the North Belt. But you see the impact of that more in the southern part.
See, let me put things once again in perspective. Ram Mandir was an issue, but not issue to ask for votes. It was issue that we have delivered what we had promised in our vision document. So it has got a limited connotation. Elections were fought and votes were sought on the basis of what we have delivered in 10 years. On economic front, on social front, on security front and international image. See, our economy was at 11th rank, and Modi ji in 2014 wanted this economy to come by 2023 to the rank of 5th. Has it come? It has come. Now by 2027, we want economy to achieve at 3rd level, which we are doing that. So these were the targets set by Mr. Narendra Modi, and we went with these targets and deliverables to the public. Various economic reforms like GST, very few countries of Indian size dare to implement GST. Even the US has not done it. Modi ji has done it, not keeping elections in mind. The demonetization, not elections keeping in mind.
Okay.
So various things Mr. Modi ji has done in the interest of nation without thinking about the elections.
No, I want to ask.
That is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, counter coming.
This is
counter coming in.
We are on times now. Let's we understand the US. It's a federal country. The states have their own Supreme Court. You can't, GST in no country except Canada and India is a one nation, one tax, and federal countries generally don't have that. When you say even USA hasn't do it, please just ask any US politician, Democrat or Republican, any. Will they have the guts to say they want a central tax? They will get kicked out of power. Okay. I mean, when you come on national TV, let's not make it like, oh, we've done, GST is good for India. I'm not disputing. Bigger virtue, US has not done it. It's not a virtue. You'll lose your politics in USA. Don't come here and make these, they're not politics to be done. It's not, logical politics.
All right. Tausif, what do these numbers say about the Congress party that just won the assembly elections there and launched some welfare schemes? There was a lot of controversy over it on whether or not they will be able to deliver it because there's a fund crunch and the government does not have money. It's spending the money somewhere else.
You see, welfare scheme and polarization, these two factors are at the top. And it is a bad news for BJP. Because, when BJP was in power, they had introduced this hijab, which was seen as a polarization, and it was for this reason the BJP was thrown out, and the trend continues. So it shows that Congress is going to perform very well. Welfare schemes, which was introduced by the Congress government, received well by the people, and the trend again suggests that all these, at least it comes to about you say 32, around 30%, at least these two issues.
So you're saying if you look at the issues on which people voted, if you look at them in isolation, you're saying that this is going to prove the exit poll projection for Karnataka wrong?
Absolutely, because these are against BJP, exactly point blank against them. These are like anti-BJP votes, we can say. Right. At least these issues are. You can be very sure about it.
Okay, Tehseen wants to come in very quickly because I have to move on to Bihar. Go ahead.
I can guarantee you the Congress is getting at least 10 to 11 seats more in Karnataka than what your exit polls show. The Lingayat vote has not moved completely to the BJP. Okay. The Vocal Liga vote stays firmly with the Congress. So do the Muslim votes, the SC votes, the Kurba votes. I don't see where the BJP is getting votes in Karnataka. They may say everything. I'm not saying Prime Minister is not popular. They don't have urban presence. They're not popular in some areas, coastal, etc. But these numbers are not adding up. Something is not right.
Something is amiss. You're saying it's not adding up. Okay, let's shift our focus to Bihar. Let's take a look at the issues that mattered the most to the people of Bihar when they were exercising their right to vote. And on number one is the issue of unemployment. Now, remember, this issue of unemployment was constantly raised by leaders like Tejashwi Yadav and leaders of the INDI bloc. 21% people kept this in mind when they were exercising their right to vote. On number two is development. 12% people voted on the issue of development. 11%, interestingly, on the issue of Hindutva. 10% on law and order. And Ram Mandir is, of course, on the minds of the people, but at the bottom of this list, 8% people voted on the issue of Ram Mandir. This is interesting, Tehseen Poonawalla. Unemployment, 21, it resonated with 21% people, but also Hindutva.
Yeah, but, you know, I don't want to get into the Hindutva issue, but the unemployment and development, if these are the two issues, with Tejaswi and the Congress giving 10 lakh jobs immediately and the development model the Congress and Tejaswi put forward, I again think Karnataka, Maharashtra and Bihar, these three states, I don't agree with the exit polls number. I think the alliance will do much, much better in these three states. So I do feel that in Bihar, the BJP, the NDA is in a little bit of trouble. I do believe the BJP was last time 17, they'll come down to about 12, 13, they'll retain some. I think Nitish Ji is in a lot of trouble. Also, the Times Now exit poll gave Chirag Paswan 5. That's not happening. So I do think that the Congress plus RJD will do much better in Bihar, much better. That gets the BJP tally a little bit down, the NDA tally a little down.
You know, let me just mention some ground reports that we played and people that we spoke to on ground. Many of them, while raking these issues, while talking about development, unemployment, law and order, women's safety, also said that they know that they want to vote for Narendra Modi, that he will solve their problem. So is it about people raising these issues and believing him to find a resolution? Let's take a look at the exit poll numbers before you come in, Tehseen Poonawalla. This is what the numbers say as far as Bihar is concerned. 30 to 32 seats for BJP plus, 7 to 9 seats for RJD plus, and others are getting 0 to 1. Mr. Pathak, in Bihar, unemployment resonated the most.
See, again, I'm telling you, even at national level, we are not claiming that unemployment issue is totally sorted out. It is a process. But look at the difference from 2014 till today. See, employment also includes self-employment. So more than 40 crores people have availed this Mudra loan, and they are doing self-employment out of that. Look at this Vishwakarma Yojana, as per which the small hawkers and revdiwalas are getting benefited. So this is all getting culminated into economy. Today our economy is growing at 8.2%. So it cannot be without employment. Without the hands, no economy can be achieved to that extent. When worldwide the development or the economic growth is less than 3% average, how India can manage 8.2%?
Do you agree with that argument?
Because we are receiving huge amount of
do you agree with that argument?
Investments.
In about, let me say 70 years, I'm not going into the specific, about 70 years of India being an independent nation. I'm leaving the first 5 years out because of the economic progress. And even in the first 5 years, India's beaten the world average GDP almost 66 or 67 times out of 70. This is, again, this argument is not. What is important is, yes, India is the 5th or 4th largest economy in the world, but the difference between the have and the have-nots is so much, Swati, that while incomes have gone up, no doubt about it, inflation and savings, inflation is taking that away and savings are down. India today is at the cusp of its least savings. Whether it's the middle class, whether it's the poor, the viewers of yours who are watching, their savings have gone down. Today, personal loans at its highest. What bank disposal loan are you talking about? Banks are in record profit. How much are they corporate loans and how much are they personal loans? It's all personal loans, loans against gold. How much is corporate loan today? That's gone down. If corporate loans have gone down, corporates are not taking risks, where are the jobs coming from? इसमें detail में ही नहीं है.
Before I take a break.
In Bihar, unemployment remains at the top because most of the migrant labor force in the country comes from Bihar, and that has gone down. In the polity of Bihar, even people like Prashant Kishore, who is not contesting, has spoken about this topic widely, and it is for this reason that we see this kind of result, and therefore the seat projection is totally unbelievable. It's going to be reversed. The RJD is going to emerge as a single largest party, and the undisputed leader is going to be Tejashwi from Bihar.
So you're saying RJD will be the single largest party when it comes to Bihar. All right, we'll see what happens on the 4th of June. For the moment, I will take a very short break, but after the break, we'll shift our focus to the larger picture. We'll talk about the impact of Ram Mandir. We'll also focus on the impact of polarization in Indian politics and when it comes to voting, the voting pattern, and an overall picture of how India voted. Welcome back. Let's take a look at the other important factors, not just state-wise, but those factors, those issues that had an impact across the country on the voters. And one such issue is the issue of Ram Mandir. Let's take a look at the states where it mattered the most. So as far as Ram Mandir is concerned, did Ram Mandir impact the mandate? In Uttar Pradesh, 9% people voted on the issue of Ram Mandir. It was 4th on their list. In Karnataka, Ram Mandir was the 5th most important issue, and 9% people voted and kept Ram Mandir in their mind when they were exercising their right to vote. Let's shift our focus to other states. In Tamil Nadu, it was the 3rd most important issue. 11% people kept Ram Mandir in their mind when they were voting. And in Telangana, 2nd most important issue. 14% people voted on the issue of Ram Mandir. Let's open our debate on this issue, on the impact of Ram Mandir. Tausif, if you take a look at these numbers, more than the North Belt or the North Indian states, it did have an impact and it moved up in terms of important issues in that list down south.
It did move up, but we have seen that the Acharyas, the Shankar Acharyas have boycotted the Pran Pratishtha. So even whether people voted on this issue, whether it has gone in favor of BJP or not, that is to be seen. I personally believe it has not gone down well for BJP. If people have voted for Ram Mandir, they would have thought about the Shankaracharyas and across the country for at least four region areas boycotting it. Secondly, the Ram Mandir issue is already over. Now, temple is built, and India needs to move on. And therefore, the people in the south maybe may have taken it in a different way. That you see, we need to move on. And if BJP keeps bringing this again and again and trying to encash it,
but BJP is saying it was never an issue for us. We never asked for votes in the name of Ram Mandir. We just highlighted that we promised this and we've delivered this.
If BJP really did not want to encash the Ram Mandir issue, why did Prime Minister did the Pran Pratishtha when the entire construction of Mandir itself was not completed? And this was very highly talked about discussion from all across the country. The Acharyas spoke about it that it does not work like that. Until the construction is complete, you cannot do the Pran Pratishtha.
Okay, all right. You're saying it has gone against the BJP. I'll come back to you, Tehseen, and to Asif Bhamla as well. We have a reaction coming in from Salman Khurshid. This is what he said.
So one final question about the exit poll. The Congress has been stating that the numbers may have been manipulated. What do you have to say about that? What are you expecting for the 4th of June?
Well, there can be only two reasons for numbers of an exit poll being wrong. Either incompetence, inefficiency, or manipulation. One of these things, because if the numbers are right and correct and authentic, then we can't have any ground to say that these numbers should not be relied upon. Our ground understanding, is quite different from the numbers that have come out. So now this is an open question. This question can only be answered by the results that come. When the results come, we can talk about it further.
It says their understanding of the ground reality is very different from the exit poll projection. Let's shift our focus back to Ram Mandir. Vishwas Pathak, I know you'll say that it was never an issue for us, but Tausif Ahmed says it was brought into the discourse time and again. It was highlighted time and again, which was one of the strategies to still say it's not our issue, but to seek votes. And he claims that this has gone against the BJP. How do you look at this?
See, we look at it, Ram Mandir issues like this. This issue was going on for like 600 years. And since post-independence, Jana Sangha and then BJP was committed to rebuild a huge Ram Mandir. So it was a matter of pride, it was a matter of faith of the public of India, and it was never correlated with the elections. Since 2014, 2019, people voted us. So it was not only because of Ram Mandir, it was because we created a vote bank of 34 crores beneficiaries. And our beneficiaries includes all citizens irrespective of caste and politics.
Okay.
If we are delivering water at home, we are doing it for all across.
Okay.
So is the case with Ujala, so is the case with electricity.
All right.
So is the case with food grains.
So you're saying that
so
is,
we do not
is where your
correlate
focus was on
elections,
launching
all such
schemes
issues.
that benefit all irrespective of caste, class, creed. Tehseen, I have to take a break, but very quickly your counter.
Once again, I completely agree with what my friend Tausif said. Look, the Honorable Prime Minister polarized this elections with Muslim, Mangal Sutra, Machi, Mutton and Mujra. And the question your viewers should ask as we go into a break is, should the Prime Minister, the most amazing country in the world, hopefully a third-time Prime Minister as per him, talk about Mujra? Does that behove the Prime Minister of India, third-time Prime Minister? Nehruji was a Prime Minister, Modi ji would be third-time Prime Minister. Does it behove talking about Mujra? I think your viewers should take that call.
All right, viewers should take that call and the Janata will take a call. We'll get to know what their call was on the 4th of June. We focused on issues in this broadcast, on the voting pattern, the issues that mattered the most. We'll get to know on the 4th of June whether or not the issues and the percentage of votes as far as issues are concerned will prove the exit polls wrong or right. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining us.